Party government and do something about it.
Mr. Speaker, I want to talk about the Honourable Phil Goff. Now, he's a nice man, this Phil Goff. I quite like him. He's been an effective minister in his time, but his time's up. His time's up. It's time for him to go. Because there's two reasons why I think it's time that Phil Goff was out of here. And the first reason is because that lot sitting over there don't respect him. They don't respect him. You watch their body language when they're with him. They don't respect him. In fact, they're so busy fighting one another that he's left out on his own. It was interesting to see when he appointed the new education spokesman after the debacle of Darren Hughes. And who did Goff appoint? Well, he appointed his friend David Shearer. He's a good friend. He brought him into Parliament. What did the caucus do? They rolled him and they put in Sue Moroney. Early childhood spokesman, they put in Sue Moroney. Sue Moroney spent 70% of the time at the estimates hearing last week talking about early childhood education. The small part of preschool. What about the big compulsory sector? Where were the questions on that? Sue Moroney is so into education, she can't even read a budget document. She believes that if you have a 5% increase in your roll numbers, you need a 5% increase in your operations grant. No wonder the NZEI love her. No wonder they love her. And speaking of which, NZEI sent out postcards. They did a postcard campaign. Early childhood education sets the scene for life. Turn it over and it says, Dear Prime Minister. This is a postcard to the Prime Minister. It says on it, add your personal message to the Prime Minister and we will deliver it. And the post note here is free. NZEI campaign. Now, who do you think, if you filled in this postcard, who do you think would get it? NZEI. And who would they give it to? The Prime Minister, because that's what it says.
A point of order has been called.
Mr. Speaker, it might be a valid question, but I really don't think that you would have filled in a postcard for the Prime Minister.
Order. I accept the member's point, but I don't like interrupting speeches. The member could have raised at the end of the speech. The Honourable Anne Tully.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you didn't fill in a postcard. But if you had filled in a postcard, wouldn't you think that it would go to the Prime Minister? So who do we think got these postcards? The Prime Minister? No. The Minister of Education? No. The Minister of Finance, who controls the budget? No. Who got them? Sue Moroney. Sue Moroney. So the NZEI run a campaign, and who ends up with the campaign database but Sue Moroney? And poor old Phil Goff says, actually, we were just going to write to these people to tell them what was happening with the postcards. Well, Whale Oil, our friend Whale Oil's been trailing through Labor emails for a long time. Whale Oil has to be the email friend of the world. And he says he found an email sitting there ready to go out from Sue Moroney that says things like, last year you filled in a postcard for the NZEI. And it talks about Labor's fighting hard to stop the ECE cuts. Our focus will be on quality. We need your support. Please like our Facebook page, share it with your friends. Welcome to email me with your views anytime. Kind regards, Sue Moroney. Where's the PM in all this? Who's got the postcards? Has the PM got the postcards? No. Sue Moroney's got the postcards. So what we know is Phil Goff doesn't know what's going on in his caucus. He has no idea. Sue Moroney is working with the NZEI, who's supposed to be a union representing teachers. Maybe Sue Moroney is mounting a campaign with the NZEI for the leadership of the Labor Party after the next election. I say to Sue Moroney and to the NZEI, who have, by the way, launched on their website a very active election campaign, so maybe Phil Goff doesn't even know what's happening to their election campaign, because NZEI have got it all laid out, all the targeted electorates for their election campaign. They've got conversation scripts to have with people. It will be quite interesting to see whether Sue Moroney is going out and talking to people about ECE in an ECE context. Please think about signing our ECE petition here. Saying things in the school context about children being able to learn at their own rate. I think that the NZEI and Labor are in
Point of order,
cahoots.
Sue Moroney. Order. A point of order has been called.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table 2 letters from the office of the Honourable Phil Goff to the Prime Minister John Key, asking him to accept the 20,000 NZEI postcards and no response from the Prime Minister. No response from the Prime Minister.
Order. Leavers sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Is this another point? Order. I cannot hear points of order being raised. Is this another point of order?
It is another point of order.
Sue Moroney, point of order.
Point of order. I seek leave to table a letter from the Honourable Phil Goff to the Prime Minister, pointing out that the reason why the postcards were presented to me was because the Prime Minister made himself unavailable to accept the postcards from NZEI.
Leavers, order. Members cannot stand up and yell stuff out. If the Speaker hasn't recognised the member, he must not do that. Order. Now the House will come to some order. Now, leave has been sought to table a letter from the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to the Right Honourable Prime Minister. Is there any objection to that document being tabled? There is no objection. Sir William Sewell.
Thank you.